Hey, my name is Zimri Mayfield. Today I'm going to be making a flat design rocket. So I have Illustrator open. We're going to go new. I'm going to call it flat design rocket. Great. 1024 by 768 is what we want. Now for this I want a color palette of flat design colors. So where I can go is here, flatUIcolors.com. What I'd like to do is take a screenshot. And then I like to come back to Illustrator, Control V, and now I have my colors right here. Color palette, dunzos. Now I'm going to make the background layer background. I'm going to fill it in. Press M to get your box. I'm going to fill in the background just like this. And then I'm going to fill it with, press Control, just press V to select the box. Press I to get the color dropper. And then click the color you want. So now our background's full of yellow. I'm gonna go ahead and lock that. I'm gonna make a new color, a new layer, and I'm gonna call it rocket. Cool. Now for this, I'm gonna be drawing half of the rocket, and then I'm gonna be copying it and reflecting it to create the other half of the rocket. And right now, I don't really know what I want it to look like, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get press P to get the pen tool, and I'm gonna fill it with white. So I'm gonna make kind of a curvy, pointy, smaller rocket. So right now I'm gonna make the body of it, so it'll kind of curve down, and I'm gonna try to line it up here to make a flat edge. And remember, with the pen tool, don't worry about the initial setup too much, because you can always come in and correct things later. So right now what I'm gonna do is gonna make sure this is straight. So press V to select it, press A, that means you get this white selector tool and you can click on a point, and now we can move it wherever we want. I'm gonna press shift, hold shift, and try to get a straight line. Okay, that's cool. Now I want this actually to be straight as well, so I can grab this handle here, I can pull that in like that. Nice. Now we have half of the body of our rocket. Okay, cool. So what happens if I Control C, Control V, right click, transform, reflect, vertical, 90 degrees, okay. Now I can put them together, and then if I want, I can join them. So now we have one shape like that, but it's too wide for my liking. So I'm gonna go Control V, Control Z until I get rid of it all. And I'm gonna press V to click on it. I'm gonna squeeze it in. Squeeze it in, there. That'll probably be good. So now if I Control C, then Control V and reflect it, it'll probably be a skinnier rocket. And that's the look I'm going for. So now I'm gonna come with two wings. So again, I'm gonna grab the P tool, and I might grab a different color for this. I'll probably grab blue. So I'll press I to select that, and now my color is blue. So press P to get back to the pen tool, and I'm gonna start in here. I'm gonna make a curve there. It's gonna come to a pointy tip at the bottom, and it's gonna curve back in. So like I said, don't worry about your lines right now. Cool, great. Now, I want to make this curve in this way. So I'm going to go ahead and Control plus to zoom in. Press A so you can select these. Click on the point you want to change. And then come in like that. Great. Now, I think actually I want it to be even more curvy, so I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to go like this. And again, don't worry about this side because I'm going to make it go behind. If you press Control, Shift, left bracket, you can make it go to the back. Great. Look at that. Now we have our wing here and our rocket body there. So now I would like to make the jet part. Everybody likes the jet part. So I'm going to go ahead and keep with the pen tool, but I'm going to press I, select let's go with dark gray. And then I'm going to grab my pen tool, And again, I am going to kind of draw it out, but I don't want to go that far, so I'm gonna just kind of go there. Then I think I'm gonna curve it in here like so, and then close off the thing. And then again, remember how to bring it to the back. Control Shift left bracket. If you want to bring it to the front, Control Shift right bracket. Great. Now we got to think about what kind of a flame we want, right? My rocket actually runs on ethanol. I don't know why that matters, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit the pen tool again, P, and I'm gonna create kind of half of the flame here. So I want the top of the thing to curve like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it like that. Then I'm gonna go to the end, curve out like that again. So it's, and I don't want, so press V to select it, press A, bring this in so we get a sharp edge on that side. Then we can move it where we'd like it. Like that, cool. And for good measure, let's select this, copy, paste, right click, transform, reflect, 90 degrees vertical. We can put it next to the other one. Oh, hey, that would be a cool effect. Let's leave a space there in the end. Okay, cool. So let's delete that. Now what I want to do is I want to come in here and, well, what color is fire? So I'm going to make it probably dark orange, and then I'm going to add some highlight of red. So we can do this one of two ways. I'm going to choose the easier way. So I'm going to select this, I'm going to copy and paste it again. You know what? Let me teach you something. So let's Control C, and then you can press Control F to paste it on top of where it is. And then we can shrink it down and put it in the middle, right like that. What we have is actually two shapes that are the same shape. The top one's just smaller now. So we're gonna hit it with the red. Like so. Awesome. You know, let's make it smaller. Bring it up like there. This is looking good, right? Yes, it is. Okay. Now, we have half of our rocket. Let's add some details, shall we? What kind of details do we want to add? Well, let's make a shadow here. So how I like to do this is I like to copy this, paste it over here. Then, this might be weird, but I like to get a shape, rotate it, make it a bit bigger. Now, I can select both of these, go to my shape mode, and minus front. Now I have this interesting piece here, right? That's actually goes there. What I can do is I can make it black, and then I can change the opacity of it, transparency, bring it down to about 20%. And then again, I can Control Shift backspace, and it goes behind everything, right? So what we want to do is move this to the back now. And there we have our nifty little shadow. And it looks like it's going up and out because of I'm considering the fire as a light source, so it's creating the shadow going like that. Great. Now, should we add a window? Let's add a window to our rocket. So press L to get our circle tool. Hold Shift and drag out our circle. Great. And what color should we make that? Let's make it let's toy around with a few colors here first. Okay, yeah, that looks good. So let's zoom in on that. And actually, I want to make like a metal rim around it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control C, Control V that, bring it out. Now I'm going to create another shape on top of this that's the same. So remember how to do that. Control C, Control F. Now I can shrink this one down, and I want it to be in the very middle. So I'm gonna have V, which is my selection tool, and I'm gonna click this one, and I'm gonna hold Shift, click that one, and I am going to align it in the middle. Now we have them aligned. So now I'm gonna do the same thing minus front, and I have this cool circle rim perimeter thing. Now I can make that a different color, like gray, for instance. Now I have a cool window sill, right? So I'm gonna select both of these. I'm gonna shrink it down because I don't like how big it is. Now let's put a reflection in our window. So Control C this, Control V that. And I'm gonna do it the same way. I'm gonna press M to get a box, and actually I want that side as the highlight. So I'm gonna select both of them, minus front. Now I have this cool shape here, and I might actually shrink it down so it fits inside the inside part. Cool. And this is obviously not lined up with the outside, so let's make it a bit bigger. Great. Now let's make our highlight shape a bit bigger also. Awesome. Now I'm gonna make this one white actually, and I'm gonna make it bring down the opacity like so, but there's no curve, right? So I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna press A, and I am going to, if you press P, you can get your pen tool, hold Alt, we can make lines like this. So now go back to A, bring in this one so it's basically the curve, and then just kind of toy around with it. Use that one to bring that part out. Whoa. Just like there. We can curve that part in and press P, and we're going to add another point. Hold Alt. Make sure we're on the space here. Now we can grab this thing, and we can move it in like that to create our curve. So now we have space here. We're going to do it the quick and dirty way. We'll just move it like that, and then we'll bring this Control Shift right bracket to the front, and everything is hidden. That should be on the other side. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right click, transform, reflect, 90 degrees, okay. So we'll just bring it to the other side. That was easy. Thanks. Okay, our rocket's looking real nice here. So now what I want to do is I'm going to reflect the whole thing and see how that goes. Control C, Control V, right click, transform, reflect. 90 degrees, okie dokie. And like I said before, the space in the middle is kind of cool, right? For the fire, but I don't think for the rocket. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make both of these a bit smaller and separate them out a little bit more. So now I'm gonna merge all of this stuff by selecting one half, bringing it over close enough to the other half, and we'll make sure that our tops align here, which they don't. Cool. Now, oh no, what have I done? I hit Control Z on accident. Okay, select all the left side of the rocket again. Zoom in to the top point so we can see. Make sure they connect. Great. Now we'll see what our situation with the fire is. Okay, so if you get something like this, just go ahead and select it, press A, move our points. No, we have the whole thing selected. So click the point you want to move first. Now move the point. Press V, Control, and to select that one, and then press A on our point. Merge it with the other side. Good. Now we have our rocket here, and our fire we want in the middle-ish area. Like so. Cool. But I kind of don't like how the windows are. You know, it looks like a face, doesn't it? So let's move the windows. I'm going to go ahead and select all 3 pieces of it. I'm going to hit Control G to make it a group so I can move it around more easily. And I'm going to make one window down there and the other window kind of up there. Great. Let's make one half of the rocket darker than the other. So what we can do is grab your selection tool V, copy and paste the entire thing, put it over here. Now get M, our box, come down through the middle, select that. No. First, select the whole thing, make it one object. So click this, Unite. Now we can grab our box, put it through the middle, select them both, minus front. Wow, okay, our fire's gone. But actually we don't want a shadow on our fire just yet. So that's fine. We'll just minus the front like that. Okay, great. See, now this can cover there perfectly. So we want it to be darker. So make that black. Hit it with the 20. And now you have that kind of thing going on. I might make it lighter though, so I go with the 10%. All right, nice, it's looking good, but I don't think it's lined up correctly because I can see here it's kind of messed up, isn't it? So make sure it lines up correctly. There we go. Nice. I am going to actually leave that how it is because I'd like this tutorial to be quick, but there's a bunch of things we could do to make it more flat, like give it a long shadow and stuff. But I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, great. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.